we spend time talking about skilling our youths. When we skill them, where will they work? If we are importing toothpick, because we don't have enough toothpick producer at home, we allow people to import toothpick. We are importing all sorts of things that this country don't need. We have basically become a dumping ground for all sorts of things. So, Mr. President, I believe until we challenge ourselves, just the manner that you said before, that we can challenge ourselves to do everything to stabilize the naira, not just by supply, but also reducing unnecessary demand that we can produce at home.
The Nigerian Senate has called for a ban on the importation of locally produced items and recommended a review of laws governing revenue-generating agencies to address arbitrary expenditures. The Senate also urged the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited, NNPCL, to reduce production costs to boost government revenue and proposed amendments to enhance fiscal responsibility enforcement.
All we want is how do we make NNPC to reduce its production cost, as said by Senate President Emeritus Ahmed Lawan. At one time, production cost per barrel used to be $20. And now NNPC has worked and brought it down to about $15 per barrel. And according to what Mele Kerry, the GMD of NNPC, is saying, they are working towards reducing it by about $10 per barrel. So all we need to say is that NNPC should continue to reduce its production cost. Simple.
So I think what we need to do is for our oil and gas related committees to really engage with NNPC and whoever is involved as an operator to know how we can do that. It's very sensitive. And I will not advise that we simply say they should go and reduce. We should find a way of making it possible for engagement to know exactly what can be done. But if we say we just fait accompli, we should just say go and reduce it. How do we know? So I advise that we should be very careful.
To all our colleagues, chairman of committees that overseeing these agencies of the government, to please let us pay so much attention. Whenever they appear before you, it's what is the status of your revenue we want to see. And how much are you allowed by law to spend out of this money? For agencies that are exceeding or not following the law, they can be brought before the National Assembly to come and explain why they have to take more than what is expected of them in every financial year. Mr. President, distinguished colleague, another area I want us to please, as the chairman has said, in the area of waivers. In 2024 alone, they have provided for 2.7 trillion waivers. Who are the beneficiary of these waivers? What did they tend to achieve? How are they adding value to the economy? And why are they granted these waivers? And this is one area I believe is of interest and utmost importance to us as a Senate, if the economic agenda of this current administration must be met.
Additionally, a medium-term expenditure framework for 2024 to 2026, including a borrowing plan of 7.8 trillion naira, a 9 trillion naira deficit, and a total expenditure of 26 trillion naira, has also been approved. The upper chamber set benchmark oil prices of $73.96, $73.76, and $69.90 per barrel for 2024, 2025, and 2026 respectively.
The macroeconomic projection of the medium-term fiscal framework and the major key parameters, as well as other macroeconomic projections driving the proposed 2024 to 2026 medium-term macroeconomic. You will look at it at the report on page 29. The summary is given there. The revenue expenditure framework upon which the 2024 Federal Government of Nigeria budget will be predicated is as follows. 1. Daily crude oil production will be 1.78 million barrels per day. 2, benchmark oil price will be USD 73.96 per barrel. Exchange rate will be $700 naira per dollar. Gross domestic product growth rate will be 3.76%. Inflation growth rate will be 21.40%. Federal government of Nigeria retained revenue will be 16.9 trillion naira. Total federal government proposed expenditure will be 26 trillion naira. Fiscal deficit will be 9 trillion for GOEs. New borrowings will be 7.8 trillion naira, including foreign and domestic borrowing.
For a 3-year period, the benchmark price of USD 73.76, that is for 2024, 69.90 for 2025, for 2026, and 73.76 for 2025 be approved respectively. Those in support of this recommendation say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Recommendation 2, that the daily crude oil production of 1.78 million barrels per day, 1.80 million barrels per day, and 1.81 million barrels per day for 2024, 2025, and 2026, respectively, be approved, subject to NNPCL's confirmation of actual and verifiable deliveries.